Welcome everyone to our yoga practice to celebrate the light of the buck full moon. This full moon is a time of powerful growth, renewal, and letting go. Just like a buck shedding its antlers, we can use this energy to shed what no longer serves us and create fresh beginnings. This buck moon is amplified as it falls in the sign of Capricorn, the sea goat. Capricorn is associated with discipline, structure, and ambition. Since this is the second full moon in Capricorn in a row, the energy of transformation is even stronger. Perhaps this is the perfect time to see your new moon intentions come to fruition. Our practice today will focus on building strong foundations whilst incorporating the qualities of stability from the Capricorn moon. A stable foundation in our bodies and minds allows us to cultivate strong intention and powerful postures. Just as the buck sheds its antlers, we'll also be incorporating movement to cleanse out the stagnant energy, creating space for new potential. To further enhance this practice, feel free to incorporate any of the complementary crystals, tiger's eye, red Jasper, or green Aventurine. If you have essential oils, cedarwood, geranium, or lemon can be a powerful touch. When you're ready, let's begin. Okay, welcome everybody. So we're going to start today laying down on our backs, taking a few moments to set our intention for today's practice. Just relax your body into any position that feels natural to you, allowing free passage of breath in and out through the nose. And for a moment, I want you to think of something that you'd like to clear from your life. This can be a stuck energy, a stagnant energy, a trapped emotion, or something more physical that you wish to clear away. Just as the buck sheds the skin from the antlers, we too can take time, take inventory to shed anything that no longer serves us during this time. A chance for cleansing, a chance for renewal, and a fresh start. With each exhalation during our practice today, you can find yourself releasing that just a little bit more. The feeling, the hold, and the trapped emotions. And then with the potency of the Capricorn full moon, we can start to integrate some stability, some discipline. We can start to create more structure within our life. Just as the mountain goat trusts its own footing during times of instability, we can so too support ourselves. We can have faith in ourselves to be able to take the next step, even if the path ahead may not be completely clear. And today we're going to test that trust with some postures that require balance. And we have faith in ourselves to be able to recalibrate, to support ourselves as we land through these transitions. And so although this may bring a fresh start to you, if anything, we become more confident in our footing. We trust the process. Whatever divine intervention the universe has, we trust that we have the ability to take the next step. And so you can just begin to feel into that sensation of trust, of confidence, and take that with you into your yoga practice. Or you can repeat the affirmation either in your head or out loud. I trust in my ability to find stability during times of transition. I trust in my ability to find stability during times of transition.
Repeat this to yourself whenever you feel unbalanced, either physically or emotionally, on or off your yoga mat. And with that in mind, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And then we're going to come into half wind relieving pose, a nice cleansing digestion based practice. So hug your right knee into your chest, interlace fingers around your right thigh or right shin. Left leg straight, or you can bend your knee. And as you breathe, I want you to direct your breath low into your diaphragm, into your belly, feeling this massage of your belly against the surface of your right thigh. This deep compression is great for clearing out the trapped energy physically through the digestive system, but also energetically. You can imagine yourself as a cloth that you're filling with fresh air, fresh water. And then as we transition now into the twist, you can imagine yourself wringing out all of that stale energy. So you have the option to keep your left leg straight, or you can bend your left knee. Use your left hand to just gently guide that right thigh, that right knee across the body. Eventually, your right shoulder and your back of your right hand is going to press the earth, and you can use the left hand to gently press that right thigh open. If this is a bit intense, you can draw both knees to be bent. Otherwise, work on pressing that right shoulder down, maybe gaze towards the right hand. And breathe as fully as you can into those right side ribs. And again, imagine you're squeezing, wringing out a cloth, getting rid of all that stuck energy. Then as you inhale, guide your right knee through center, hug your right knee in, and then hug your left knee in. Take just a full breath here, breathing into the low belly. Exhale, squeeze those thighs in a little bit closer. Then as you inhale, straighten through your right leg. Again, you can have your knee bent with the sole of the foot to the floor or completely straight. And just work on hugging that left knee towards your left shoulder, breathing into the left side of your low belly. Your neck is nice and long and the back of the head is pressing into your yoga mat. Breathing low. Deep sense of grounding. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, again, you can use your right hand to just gently guide that left knee over towards the right side. You can keep your hand there as you bring your left arm, your left shoulder over to the left. If this feels a bit intense, you can draw both knees to a bent position. Otherwise, just gently guide that left knee down as you breathe. Again, wringing out all of that trapped energy. You can imagine with each exhalation, the clearing of the stale. Having trust that the path before you will illuminate itself when you're ready for renewal. Then as you inhale, bring your knee back through center. Again, just hug knees in for a breath in wind relieving pose, full wind relieving pose. And exhale fully. Now switch the breathing into rib cage breathing. This is going to support your lower back. As you exhale, feel your low belly draw in towards your spine. And we're going to roll up to a tabletop position. So you just roll up, cross over the shins and bring yourself to hands and knees. And we'll take some cat-cows. So wrists under your shoulders, inhaling into cow pose, lifting the crown of the head up, chest forward, belly drops down, tailbone reaches up. And as we exhale, round the spine into cat. Draw your low belly in as you bring your chin to your chest. A couple more times. Inhale to a neutral position, and we're going to thread the needle. So as you inhale, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your left palm out to the right side. So the back of the left hand is on the floor. You can stay with this variation, or you can reach your right hand, your right fingertips towards the front edge of your yoga mat. Gaze towards the left hand. You can stay with this, or if you want to add a bit more intensity, you can lift your right leg up. So not only twisting deeply here, but also challenging your balance. Don't worry about how high you get that back leg, just try to find stability here. Breathing. Drop your right knee underneath your right hip, right palm under your right shoulder as you inhale. Reach those left fingertips up. As you exhale, bring your left hand down. Then as we switch, so we're going to now inhale, reach your right fingertips up. Exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left, bringing the right ear, the right shoulder to the floor. And again, stay here, or bring your left fingertips towards the front edge of your mat. You can tent those fingertips for a bit more balance. You can stay with this, both knees on the floor, and usually the second side feels a bit less balanced. I'm not sure why that is. You can lift your left leg up and back. Try to keep your right ear, your right shoulder firmly pressing to the earth. Bring your left knee underneath your left hip, left palm under your left shoulder. Inhale, reach through those right fingertips. As you exhale, back to tabletop position. Bring your wrists slightly forward of your shoulders, keeping a generous bend to the knees. Bring yourself to downward facing dog. Take a slightly shorter downward facing dog, so your feet are a little bit closer to your hands and slightly wider, so they're more like shoulder width apart. And then use your left hand across the body to reach towards your right ankle, your right calf, as you look underneath the right arm towards the ceiling. Moving into twisted downward dog. Inhale, bring your left wrist forwards, and then as you exhale, switch, bring your right arm across. Try to keep pressing your chest to the thighs and the thighs back. Inhale, back to downward facing dog. You may want to elongate your stance a little bit here, traditional down dog, as you exhale. Then as you inhale, look to the space between your hands. Keep your bend in your knees as you walk forwards to a ragdoll. Just familiarize yourself with that sense of rooting through the toes as you shift the weight forwards and back, maybe a little bit side to side. And when you're ready, release the elbows very mindfully, one vertebrae at a time, rolling up the spine. So your head and your neck is the last thing to come up. When you get to the top, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. From your mountain pose, bring your toes to touch. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up. Interlace index finger and thumb of your left hand around your right wrist. And then as you exhale, side stretch over towards the left. You can keep your hips in this alignment or press the pelvis towards the right side. Or you can even bring your right foot, come onto the toes of the right foot as you bring your right foot behind your left. Try to keep your right shoulder back and in line with your left. Breathing into those left side ribs. Almost feels like you're kind of clearing out everything stuck here in the side body, in the waist. Inhale through center, feet together, switch the grip of the wrists, and then as you exhale, side stretch over towards the right side. You can use that right hand to just gently press that arm open a little bit more, or you have the option to bring your left foot behind your right. Inhale through center, reach up through both arms. As you exhale, now bring your right arm underneath your left. Take your variation of eagle, so you can bring the hands to the shoulders, backs of the hands, or palms of the hands can touch. Inhaling, exhale, sink the weight low into the heels, sinking into your chair pose. Then bring your right toes out to the right and cross your right thigh high up on the left. You can tap the toes to the floor or eventually hook the top of the right foot behind the standing left calf. Try to guide your knees, your elbows towards the midline as the shoulders relax.
feeling that sense of balance, the trust in the pose, the trust within your own body. Even if you're using a wall, even if both feet are on the floor, have trust in the next step, that your body will intuitively know where to move and what requires you in this pose. As you inhale, bring your legs through center, sweep the arms up, maybe lifting the gaze. As you exhale, bring your left hand underneath your right, find your bind. Inhaling. Exhale, sink the weight down into the heels, bring your left toes to the left and then cross the thigh up over the right, tap the toes, or hook the top of the foot behind standing calf. Try to square your shoulders and your hips towards the front of your mat, sinking the weight down into that right foot. Squeezing your inner left thigh, your inner right thigh together to touch. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, mountain pose. Bring the palms together at the center of your heart. Now from here, as you inhale, bring your right leg up, bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh, with the option now to reach your right hand back behind you, with the option eventually to turn your gaze towards that back thumb. If this posture is accessible to you, feel free to take the peace fingers of your left hand between your big and second toe of your right foot as you twist, keeping your gaze nice and steady. Now bear in mind this transition is a little bit hard, but have faith in the process. Release your right foot if you haven't already. Reach your arms alongside your body, palms face forwards as we come forwards into Warrior 3. You can always bring your hands to the floor if needed. Otherwise, see if you can keep your arms alongside your body, palms down. Gaze is fixed. Don't worry if you wobble. And then with or without the hands, see if you can land those right toes back. Reach up through both arms into crescent. And then as you exhale, frame both hands to either side of the left foot. As you bring your left leg towards straight, chin towards your left shin into pyramid pose. Feel that stability even here. If you need to, press that right heel down to the floor, finding more stability through that back foot. Stay as you are, or as you inhale, rise into a flat back. Keep your right hand to the earth, and then as you inhale, reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling for revolved triangle. Gaze eventually towards that left thumb, keeping the pelvis squared. Then when you're ready, bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot. Bring the weight into the left leg, left knee bends. Bring your right leg in and up into standing splits. And from here, you have the option to bring your left hand towards your left calf. Once you feel balanced here, maybe you can also bring your right hand towards your left calf. Keep breathing. Trust in the process. Bring both hands to the floor. And then bend your left knee, bring your right knee behind your left. We're going to sit through into our variation of half Lord of the Fishes. So now your left foot is just on the outside of your right knee. If that's a little too much pressure, bring it to the inside of the knee instead. Crook of the right elbow around the left shin as you bring your left fingertips behind you, looking out over your left shoulder. Eventually, maybe you have the option to bind, but bear in mind we haven't done too much work with the shoulders today, but if you'd like, you can internally rotate that right shoulder, reach the fingertips through, breathing fully. And as we inhale, unwind, turn through center. It wouldn't be a buck full moon practice without deer pose. So just bring your top leg, your left leg towards parallel with the front edge of your yoga mat. Bring your right knee, so your right knee is in line with your right hip. Your shin is parallel to the long edge of your yoga mat.
And you can just hold here in stillness, trying to work on pressing that right sit bone into the floor. Or alternatively, you can fold forwards, almost like a variation of pigeon pose, flexing those left toes back as you work deeper into the left hip. If this is really uncomfortable for you, feel free to come into traditional pigeon, or you can just come into a cross legs position and then begin to fold forwards from there with your left leg in front. Breathing deep, feel that sense of grounding, that sense of faith, of trust. Trusting your inner guidance, your intuition, which may be a little bit heightened with the full moon. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then as we inhale, walk those hands up. And you have the option to just step back to downward facing dog, or you can cross your right shin over your left, pick up those hips. And then as you exhale, step or even jump back as you lower down through your vinyasa. So whether that's knees, chest, chin, or through low plank, that's up to you. Inhaling into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, soften through the neck. Use the strength of your arms to bring yourself back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale fully. As you inhale, look to the space between the hands, step or jump to the halfway lift at the front of your yoga mat. And then as you exhale, belly to thighs, chin to shin, folding forwards. Inhale, we rise up to standing with a flat back. So bend your knees as much as needed. Reach through the tips of the fingers. As you exhale, thumbs to sternum, mountain pose. So we have all of that lovely work on the other side as well. So now we're going to bend here our left knee. So lift up through your left knee, bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Option here to twist deeply, bringing your left fingertips back, looking towards eventually your left thumb. And see if I've got the space here. If this was easy on the other side, you feel supported here. Peace fingers of your right hand between your big and second toe of your left foot as you begin to twist. Knee doesn't have to be all the way straight, it's just heading in that direction. Now have trust in the process of your balance. Bend your left knee, bring your arms alongside the body, palms face forwards as we transition through Warrior 3. So again, your body is no lower than parallel to the floor. You can even come up a little bit higher, bringing your chin and your chest forwards. Have trust. You can use your hands to help you, hands to the floor if you'd like. Otherwise, see if you can bend here through that right knee, bring your left toes back into high lunge as you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, moving into pyramids, hands to the waist or to the floor on either side of your right foot. As you work your right leg towards straight, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold. Stay as you are. Depending on the position of that back foot, we're coming into either revolved triangle or revolved pyramid. So keeping your left hand to the floor or to a block. Inhale, reach those right fingertips up. Eventually gaze towards the top hand. Breathing. Inhaling. As you exhale, bring your right hand down to frame your right foot. Bend your right knee so it tracks over the ankle as you lift your left leg up and back into standing splits. Both hands can stay firmly on the floor or to blocks, or eventually you can bring your right hand towards your right calf. Only once you feel stable, you can also bring your left hand to your right calf. Bring both hands to the earth as you inhale. Bending your left knee, tuck it behind your right as you sink down into your half Lord of the Fishes pose. So your knees are bent.
Use the crook of the left elbow around your right shin, right fingertips behind your right hip as you look out over your right shoulder. Alternatively, if you did on the other side, you're invited to bind on this side as well. Inhale, unwind, bring yourself back through center. Bring your top leg, your right shin towards parallel now with the short edge, the front of your mat. As you bring your left knee in line with your left hip, with your left shin back, left toes flex back. So both sets of toes flex back. Work on just grounding yourself using the tips of the fingers to support your spine here, flexing both sets of toes back. Or alternatively, you can begin to fold forwards, creating a bit more of a passive stretch here, maybe feeling it in the right hip, maybe feeling it more in the left hip flexors or the inner thigh. Slow your breathing, reaffirming your intention that you set at the very beginning of your practice, or reaffirming the mantra that you set. I trust in my ability to find stability during times of transition. I trust in my ability to find stability during times of transition. As you inhale, walk your hands up. Cross your left shin over your right with the option to just take a couple breaths resting, or you can pick up those hips and then as you exhale, step, hop or jump back. Inhale into your back bend and exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop to the knees, press the hips back to the heels. Come into child's pose. Release your forehead to the earth or to the backs of your hands. And just gently walk yourself forwards to a tabletop and just tuck your toes under. Sit your hips to your heels from here. You can come into kind of a child's pose with your toes tucked, or you can fully tuck all 10 toes under. Sit your hips to your heels in an upright spine and just rest your hands to your knees. You can either hold here with complete stillness, just really embracing the stretch to the soles of the feet, those connective tissues that create balance within the body. Imagine how hard the little feet of the mountain goat work. That's how we're trying to relax these feet today. How hard your feet have worked to get you through your day today, through your yoga practice. So just wherever possible, enjoying the stretch here through the soles of the feet. Then bring yourself forwards, just untuck those toes. We're going to do the counter stretch, which can either be traditional child's pose, hero pose, sitting the hips to the heels, getting a stretch to the tops of the ankles, or you can tent your fingers behind your hips, leaning back, and just gently lift your knees off the floor, getting a stretch to the fronts of the ankles, the shins. Any pain here, just skip this position. And then when you're ready, just bring yourself forwards. If you really want to take a final flow, you can. Otherwise, just cross the shins behind you, sit your hips back, and come to lay down on your back. And we're going to come into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. Just bending your knees. You can either hug your knees to your chest,
Or take your peace fingers to your big toes with the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling as you hug your thighs towards the floor. And just slow your breathing down. Start to breathe low into the belly again, if you can. Feel that massage through your digestive tract. Feel your toes, maybe with your fingers, or maybe just feeling into the toes here, feeling the soles of the feet, the delicate tissues that surround your ankles, with the option to find movement if it feels nice, side to side rocking. And then when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest, give them one final squeeze, and then release your feet out to the front corners of your mat with your arms alongside your body, palms open towards the sky. Closing off your eyes and taking the time to get really comfortable here. If you had your crystals, you feel free to place those around you or give yourself a little dab of extra essential oil if that suits you in your practice today.
And perhaps just one final time reaffirming the affirmation, I trust in my ability to find stability during times of transition. As we come to close off our practice, take a moment to acknowledge the powerful energy of the buck full moon. Feel the strength and stability you've built in your foundation, ready to support new beginnings. Perhaps you've released some stagnant energy or gained clarity on what you want to cultivate within your life. Let the positive energy of this practice flow with you throughout your day and through the lunar cycle. Remember, you are capable of incredible growth and renewal, just like the buck. Thank you all so much for joining me. Namaste.